is September 17th, 2020, 6:30 PM Thursday. Let's see, I have to read this from the Governor Baker. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, GLC 30A 18, and the governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place. This public meeting of the Lawrence Airport Commissioner is being conducted via remote participation. No in-person attendance by members of the public will be permitted, but the public can listen and or view this meeting while in progress by one of the Facebook and YouTube web access sites referenced below. Okay, so do we have a roll call caller?
Sharon Birchall,
Here.
Andres Castillo,
Yeah,
Bill Collins,
He's here. We can see him.
I think he's on
Okay.
mute. Yeah, he's on mute.
okay, Danya,
Here.
Ernest
I'm here.
Quartermass,
here.
and Jack is absent. Dan Foley,
Present.
Bob Irving,
Present.
and William Pedrick.
Present.
Okay,
Okay, thank you. Again, like I said, we're gonna make this meeting kind of roll along in order, kind of quick, due to that city council needs the system at 7 o'clock. So any questions or any comments, please make them real quick, or wait until, if it's not necessary, you can wait and talk to me, Mike, or Christine after. So can we have an approval of the minutes from June 18, 2020 and August 5th, 2020? And welcome back, everybody. I hope everybody had a nice, safe, healthy summer.
I
Welcome
move
back.
we approve
Sure
the
did.
minutes.
Andre Castillo, make a motion to accept the minute.
who's second?
Bill Collins.
Okay, and then that's for the June 18th. What about the August 5th?
I make a motion for the August 6th meeting. To accept.
Second by Danya.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. And commissioners, when we make a motion, can you just state your name so Carla can know who it is so she can write it down, please?
Yes, I say Andre Castillo.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe you didn't.
All right. Finance Committee.
Good evening, commissioners and everybody who is listening and watching. I know I did send 3 different reports for the finances, one for June, July, and August, and I'm trying to be as quick as possible. The June is the fiscal year ending report. And the most important, if we go and look at the revenue expense report, the most important here really is that the fiscal year of 2020, we ended with an overage of $170,088.65. That is going to be added onto the fund balance, which then helps us again for all projects which will be coming up and we have to pay our share. And please, everybody, interrupt me for any questions. That is the June report. I would leave it like that, if that is fine with the June report. And would go into the beginning of the next fiscal year, which would be July.
Christine?
Yes.
Mike, may I just interrupt briefly, just for clarification to make sure everyone's on the
Yes.
same page? When by overage, you mean that's excess revenue. We had a surplus.
Excess of revenues, yes.
We had a surplus last year, ending the year at the 170,088.65. So that will be going into our fund balance on the municipal side, or those of you from the private sector, our retained earnings. So we had a profitable year last year. It's going in the bank, and we'll hopefully be spending it on a new administration building sometime in the future.
We don't get to split
Nice
that.
job.
We don't get to split that. That's hard work on Christine's part and on yours as well.
And the
Nice
tenants,
job.
who only when the tenants pay, we can collect, right?
Yeah.
So starting
Okay.
fiscal year of July, we did have an excess of expenses, excuse me, of $34,643 with 18 cents. That
What's
is
that amount, Christine? 34,640.
3 with 18 cents.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. And that is due to, if you look at the next page, the detailed expense report. And if you look at the intergovernmental object code 5650, and you will see an amount of $63,420.69. That is the pension assessment for the complete year for all employees. So that was taken out of that was paid out of our general fund the first month of that fiscal year. And considering that that was an extreme high amount, and that due to that high amount, we had expenditures of 80,297 with 13 in the month of July. The excess of the expense is not as bad. It's 34,643 with 18 cents. Commissioners who have been for quite a while on the board know that we usually in a couple of months, we definitely gonna be in the black again. And if I can leave it like this, I would jump to the August report, the expense and revenue report, where you can see the year-to-date excess of expenses is down already to 6,522 with 21. So that looks like in the month of September, we're going to be already in the black again.
Good.
Are there any questions to the revenue and expense report or the detailed report? If not, I would go to the tenant payment status report.
Okay, and I think you sent out a new email, correct?
That is correct. I did
Yes.
send last week and also per mail the old statements. There are two of them, one of the fiscal year 2020 and the other one of the fiscal year 2021. And you would see on the left-hand side on the top the date. The old one would be September 10. The new one, which I did send out this afternoon with the yellow highlights, September 17th. And on the highlights, you can see all the collections in that period of September 10th to 17th. So we made quite a progress here. And
Yeah, you did a great job.
as usual, I asked
nice
them
job.
to come to the commission if there are any concerns or any questions, and
That's awesome.
write in.
Yeah.
That would be from my side. And like I said, I'm open for any questions. Good
Any
to see.
commissioners have any questions for her?
No.
No, nice job, Christine.
Yeah, great. That's perfect going in for the,
Congratulations, Christine.
Thank you, Andres.
You're my hero, Christine.
right, so do we have any questions? If we don't have any questions, we could take a motion on the floor to accept, what is it?
Motion
June?
to accept
Would it, wait a minute, it would be, hold on,
the
June, July,
finance
August?
report.
I'll make a motion to accept the June, July, and August
Nice.
finance reports.
Okay, second by
Bill.
Danya,
Second by Dania.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much, good job, Christine.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Leasing,
Madam Chair, I'll speak on behalf of the chairman, Bill Collins. I have not had an opportunity to meet with him to get together to discuss some of the old business items. But one item that is down there, and we can address it at old business, I'd like to see if we can remove it from old business, only because there's been no progress from the tenant, and they just really wanted to bring it to our attention. And that would be the Lawrence Jet Center. They just wanted to have us aware of the fact that they may be coming forward, but I know, talking with Bill, there's no definitive plans as of now to go forward. But what I do want to talk about is I was today contacted, I received an email from the architects and engineers from the Hangar 4 KLWM LLC. If you recall, back in June, seems like it was just yesterday, but several months ago, Mr. Helfrich came in with Falcon Air, and they were requesting permission in order to lease out a portion of that to Helfrich Boiler Works. They now have designs, schematic designs at 60% for the space, the office space within that building. And they also have informed me that they're going to come into the commission with a plan in October. So they'll be before the commission again with a desire to lease space up in the hill adjacent to their building behind the control tower for parking. They want to come in and have additional parking up there. So for now, they did present something just showing how they're reconfiguring the existing space within their building. But in October, they'll be before the commission with definitive plans showing that space together with the need to take additional space, and therefore be requiring them to lease more space from the commission for parking purposes up on the hill behind the control tower. So they'll enhance the revenue stream as well once that proposal gets approved. So that's really all I have. I'm looking forward to working with Commissioner Collins. I know both of our schedules haven't been too receptive to getting together to try to address the other issues with the EAA and Joe's Flaming Kebabs lease. So we'll be able to meet and move forward on that, and hopefully have a report back to the commission in October.
So do you want us to take a vote on that now?
Well, we can wait till old business. I would like to see a vote just to remove it because Bill's, he brought it to our attention just so he could let the commission know that that's what they're thinking of, but there's really nothing moving forward. So I think it's just taking up space on that agenda. So maybe when we get down to old business, you can just have a motion to remove it from old business and delete it from the agenda.
Perfect. Okay.
Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome, Bill.
All right. So do we have a motion on the floor to accept the lease?
Make a motion, Andres. Make a motion.
Commissioner Andres, second.
Joe Patrick, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. Airport security?
Okay, there is not much to say other than the main gate has been fixed and it's working very good. You know, one other thing is that the new building project is still in limbo. The cost is very high, in the 650 to 700,000 range. But all hopes are they're gonna come up with some solution or can reaching an acceptable agreement to continue on. Let's see, and if the manager wanted to add anything else to that, he's more than welcome from me.
Thank you, Commissioner Castillo. Yes, I spoke with Andres today. Last week we had a conversation, and I'll allow Dom to fill in when he gives his report later on in the meeting. But the state of the Mass DOT Aeronautics looked at the anticipated cost estimate for the new security plan, and it was rather higher than what they thought initially, but also given the COVID funding situation with the state, they don't think they can afford to pay the $650,000 to $700,000 right now. They haven't been funded. They're working on a 90-day appropriation, so they couldn't give a commitment to that. What they did commit to was to allow Stantec to continue to design and develop the system, and they will fund that presently. And they're hoping once the COVID situation shakes out in terms of state funding, that they'll then have a better handle of how much money they have available to fund the program, or projects that have a higher priority, pavement projects, runway projects, maybe they don't go forward. They said then we'll have the resources then also to pay. So they've asked us to design it, continue designing, but they asked us to hold off until January, February timeframe, maybe as early as December, so that they can look at their financial situation and determine whether they can commit to then building it this year. So it may require a deferment to next year if they don't have the resources, but they definitely want to make sure it gets designed this year, early in the year, so that it's on the shelf. If some money comes available, they can immediately commit to funding it. But COVID is interfering with that, unfortunately.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
And do you have any questions for security? No. So do we have a motion on the floor to accept the airport security procedures?
I'll have a motion, Joe Patrick.
Attorney Kurumaj.
Second by Danya.
So first is Bill Collins.
No,
No.
first,
Ernest.
Okay.
I believe Bill Pedrick was first.
All
Bill
right. So
Pedrick and then Commissioner
Then Quartermarsh seconded it, and then
yes,
Danya was a second.
right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, the old business. So on the old business, do we have a motion on the floor to remove the EAA chapter lot 1 request for renewal of lease?
Madam Chair, that one would like to keep. Number 1 and
Oh.
number 2, Commissioner Collins and I will work on. It's actually number 3.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay.
So I'll make a motion to remove the Lawrence Jet Center from the old business. This is Bill Collins.
Okay.
I second it. Andres, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay, so old business, the EAA chapter lot, request for renewal of lease.
And those 2, I just asked that you leave them there, and then Commissioner Collins and I will work on those and have a report on the leasing for next month.
Okay, so we're all set with those?
We're all set with that.
Okay. No table matters. New business,
Nothing.
airport manager?
I'll be brief.
Well-
First and foremost, all staff is doing well. We're all healthy, no scares. There's been some family members, relations to some of the employees, but not close. But again, everyone is healthy and no COVID impacts. We're very happy with, not in the immediate family. Hopefully the same for everybody on this call. Our operations, I was on a call this afternoon with the rest of the state airport managers, the Mass Airport Management Association. We seem to be following the same trend they are. Everyone took a hit in March and April, and then things have rebounded. We're actually, on average, about 15% more operations each month this year than we were the same month in 2019, with the exception of the month of April. The month of April, we took a serious hit of 28%. But since then, we've always been averaging at least 15 to 16%, with the exception of June, where we had a 43%. But to me, that's an outlier, which is good. It means that the traffic has rebounded, it's come back, and the COVID fear really isn't there in terms of that being detrimental to the economic health of the airport. Our FBOs have been servicing the traveling aircraft as well as the flight schools operating, the repair shops, the FBOs doing repair work, airframe and power plant. They've been extremely busy since COVID started because people weren't flying their aircraft, they were having them serviced, which was good. All of that being said, that's why we ended up with the $170,000 surplus at the end of last year, in part, as well as in part, so far in the first 2 months of this fiscal year, we're averaging 6% over last year's collections. So we're up by 6% for July and August. So even in the COVID environment, we're collecting more money than we did last year. So 2 months doesn't make a trend, but it's in the right direction. The commercial airports, Provincetown, Hyannis, they were talking about massive losses of revenues in the millions. The operations are down out in Provincetown. The airport manager was talking about that. Hanscom Field operations are down. Hyannis, Barnstable, their operations are down. Major impacts financially for them. We've been very lucky, and it doesn't seems as though the commercial service airports took the brunt of COVID. The GA airports, the Beverleys, Fitchburgs, Westfield, Lawrence, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. The GAs are doing fine. I think it's a shift. People don't want to travel in the commercial environment, so they're not going to Logan Airport to stand in line amongst all those people. They're flying in the private jets, and that means good business for us, which I'm happy. You know? The new building is, we had a discussion again last week, and Commissioner Castillo talked about the new building and the cost. Part of the new building is the security and moving the gate and all that, but I got a commitment from them. They were reviewing the cost of security, trying to bring down the cost as much as possible to free up the money to make it available for design. So they're still talking about designing our new building this year with a construction date of 2023. So I was happy and encouraged to hear that. Because we're adopting the model from Plymouth, there's a lot of cost savings there, and I think that makes it so it's something that they can afford to do. If they had to pay 100% of the design cost for the architect, I think the project would be dead in the water. But by utilizing something that's already probably 85 to 90% designed, they can afford to pay that delta from there to the new design cost under their appropriation. And again, they did specifically state we're looking to shave the cost down on the security project to have all available resources to design your administration building. So that was encouraging. The employee part of why we had a large surplus, obviously, last year we operated with just one operations person until December. We hired a new gentleman who we ended up letting go in May. So we had some cost savings there for salary, but the new position is now posted. It was posted in late August. It's for the Monday through Friday shift. And in the 2 to 3 weeks that we've had it posted, there's only, I think, 3 applicants. Christine was in City Hall last week and checked. None of them have the credentials. Obviously, we need a commercial driver's license at a minimum to start. So we're continuing to market it, and hopefully we'll have somebody in before the snow flies. Ideally, it would be nice to have somebody in by the end of October to get them trained and up to speed to work out on the airfield. But it's really down to recruitment. So if anybody knows anyone with a commercial driver's license and some buildings and grounds maintenance experience, they'd be the ideal candidate. Our electrical vault project, I'm sure Don will talk about that. We'll be removing the electrical vault from its current location and relocating it to allow for the terminal building project to go forward in a couple of years, but also to hopefully remove the project of the circuit on the Echo taxiway. But the contract came in from the contractor last week. Madam Chair signed it this week, and now it's being circulated for signatures downtown. And hopefully that can start up within several weeks and get that project going. And that's it. That's all I have to offer, and available for any questions. And as always, if not tonight, just give me a call tomorrow at the office.
Yes, Mike, may I ask?
Yes.
Do you say that that position doesn't require a specialized driver license or just a regular license?
It requires a special one. It requires a commercial driver's license because of the equipment that they operate have air brakes. So it needs a Class B commercial driver's license, CDL.
Oh, okay.
Then 6 months after hire, the person should require them. They don't have to bring it to the job, but within 6 months, they have to get their hoisting license, a hoisting engineer's license, because of the use of the front end loader.
Okay.
But as long as they have a Class B commercial driver's license, they meet the minimum qualifications to start.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, any other questions for Mike? Good job, Mike. Do I have a motion on the floor to accept the manager's report?
I can make a motion to accept the manager report. Andres?
Second,
Second, Bob Irving.
Bob Irving, second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great job, Mike. Public comments. Does Bob or Dawn want to make a few minutes? We at 6:52, so you've got like 5 minutes.
I'll defer my comments to Dawn. I've been a little out the last month for other things, so he can comment on all that.
Yeah, I can. This is Dom Zazzaro with Stantec, and I can give a quick update. I think Mike already did a nice job discussing the lighting vault and the security upgrades. So I don't have a lot to add on those. I have been talking to the contractor for the lighting vault, and he is hoping to at least start the underground work this fall. So like Mike said, we're just waiting on the contracts to get signed. So a couple of other projects that we also have is the master plan update, which Irv, Deck, and Kate from our Portland main office are working on. And it sounds like they should have the inventory and the forecast chapters done next week and over to Mike. And we're really pushing to have a draft of the master plan done by the end of the year, because it'll give us a good idea of what projects we should be thinking about and permitting next year. And then I think the only other project is the obstruction analysis, which we are being close to wrapping up a draft on that. That will identify all the existing obstructions in the various approach and departure surfaces off each runway end. And so probably in the next, hopefully 2 to 3 weeks, we should be able to submit a draft to Mike and then FAA and MassDOT. I think that's pretty much it, unless anyone has any questions on those projects or anything on the lighting vault or the security upgrades.
Anybody have any questions? No?
Good.
All right, good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I don't have anything. I want to thank everyone for a nice smooth, quick meeting. Next meeting will be October 15th at 6:30. Is that correct? Is that the third Thursday?
Madam Chair,
Yeah.
one thing, you're going to announce the retirement of one committee member and security, the transition to the next committee chair.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. Yes.
Thanks.
Do you want to do it?
No, it's your appointment.
Okay.
It's your appointment, so you can do it.
Hold on one second. I have to look at my notes here.
I'll do it. Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
I want to thank
Oh, you
Commissioner
did.
Castillo
Yes.
for all his services, and we'll have to name the new security system after him. But he's graciously decided to step down to give Commissioner Foley an opportunity to come back and hold the title to the chairman of the security committee that he once held. But just want to thank for all the services and the commitment to the airport that Commissioner Castillo has served in that capacity, and all the great things he's done. And I wish we could have had the system up and running now, but he's lived the unfortunate roadblocks and obstacles with Buy American. It's a federal funding project, a state funding project, back to the federal project and all that. But I think he's got good direction and guidance on it, and he's handing it off to Commissioner Foley to take it across the goal line.
And I thank you very much, Commissioner Foley, for accepting. And Commissioner Andres, thank you very much for your service. You did a great job.
My pleasure.
All right,
Great
and that's
job.
it.
Anybody else? I know that happened so quick, I forgot. October 15th, correct, is the third Thursday at 6:30. Anybody else have any questions or anything? No?
No.
All right. Well, 6:56, we did good.
Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
I
Second.
second it, Bill Frederick.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. See you next
you,
week,
guys.
and have a great,
Aye.
Excellent. And again, if anyone has any questions, just give us a call tomorrow.
Thank you.
thank you.
Bye.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Over and out.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.